welcome everybody to Road and Plate. Sorry we are late as we have had some technical issues on the other end of this one. I'm Alan Bergen along with Matt Mettler, and we are 14 minutes into heat number 1. And so far, your leader right now here in this one is Aaron Smith in that number 70 truck. This is a timed heat race. These races are timed laps. There's 12 trucks signed in here tonight to do battle. And once again, I am Alan Bergen, and joining me in the booth is Matt Mettler. Want to thank everybody for joining here in the youtube.com live chat. As right now, Aaron Smith, the second, leads this piece. Brian Molitor in that Ford truck, he's running second position right now. And then you got Dustin Bali in that number 24. That's a Fortnite truck painted up like the like the Menards truck. Jay Best in that number 53 truck. We got about 12 minutes left here as Tyler Newman has exited this race, and there will be a 35-minute main here as we are going to go ahead and bring up the track map so you can sign and see where everybody's running at. There's that track map that you can see there. Oh my. So round 5 here from Olive Grove Raceway. Here at the Road and Plate Series, the Golf Rat. Road and Plate. As we got about 11 minutes left here in the session. And this is that first heat that I was alluding to. Samuel Stoner up two spots, started 8th. He is finishing, or he's running 6th position right now. Johnny Rapp there in that number 7 truck, or in that number 57 truck. He's up in that top 7 spots. Once again, we want to thank everybody, apologizing for being late to the game here. And these guys work really, really hard to put on the best show possible for you guys here in the Palm Rat Truck Series. And there are no cautions in this series here on the road courses, only on the super speedways. As you know, these guys are I would say, some talented drivers, very talented drivers here. So we got a little over 10 laps here in the session right now. Aaron Smith had set the fastest lap of the session with a 1 minute 50.59 seconds. So he's getting around here in a minute and a half. And he's got that Ford truck of Brian Molitor there on his back bumper. And we are going to have some fun now, as I like to say it. Right now, we are 9 minutes away from the completion of the heat, in which time we will talk to the winner of the heat. Eight minutes left here in the heat. Aaron Smith continues to do Aaron Smith things. Here comes Brian Molitor on his back bumper. Dustin Bali there. And, you know, there's a little bit of an S section right there where you see Dustin Bali. It's a little sharp right-hander. And we're going to go on board and take a lap around here. And we'll go ahead and do this. And we'll do that. And Dustin Bali, as he comes back towards that start-finish line, he's up to fourth gear. Now these are only 4-speed transmissions. As we got a few trucks that are off, here we go down towards turn number 1. A little bit of a sharp right-hander. Get out there, swing it wide. Okay, he's taking second gear there. He's going to go down to first. No, he's going to ride that one in second as he comes into the left-hander here. Up the hill, a nice little elevation change. As we got a truck off that's the Ford truck of Brian Molitor that has wrecked, I should say. And he comes back to a sharp left-hander down the first gear. Up through the gears there. And third gear, second gear. 6 minutes left here, left in the session. Dustin Bali riding in that second position. Aaron Smith the second. So far they have made 4 laps around the racetrack. So this is a timed race. Right here, this is a timed race. And here's Aaron Smith down the second gear. We're going to check on a few of these drivers and see how they run this road course. Here's it looks like a very technical race course. You're riding on board with the number 66 truck of Kenneth Stepp. Samuel Stoner right there. Ooh, in that Toyota. Having some kind of fun now as Samuel Stoner chasing down Jay Bast in that number 53 truck. Tyler Newman will win the race of the beer stand on this heat race. So we are inside of 5 minutes left. As As we are back on board, we're going to come back out to the live picture here. Dustin Bolly doing Dustin Bolly things. Does he have enough time to get back up to the leader and potentially pass him? I mean, granted, they ran 5 laps, so as Dustin Bolly comes up the hill, and you got to be careful because you can get really, really loose here at this road course, and especially in these slower sections of the race course here. So you want to be absolutely careful not to spin the tires. Don't cook those tires, because you can well, it'll be very hard. It'll be very hard to not spin the tires. So, but nonetheless. Oh, you're good. You're good. We got 3 minutes and 34 seconds left. They've ran essentially 6 laps here in the in this heat, and then it will be a short warm-up break. But while we're doing that, while they're making laps around here, Matt, let's go ahead and see how they qualified here as well. We're gonna do this number here. There we go. That's there. And this is how they qualified here. 12 trucks took time. Aaron Smith was the fastest of the bunch with a 1 minute 49 second lap. Brian Molitor qualified second. Dustin Bolly third. Evan Hubchak qualified fourth. Devin Jack qualified fifth. Tyler Newman 6th, Jay Bast 7th, Sam Stoner 8th, Johnny Rapp 9th, Kenneth Stepp 10th, 11th went to Tom Wendt, and Nick Seraf qualified 12th. So that's how they qualified. Right now, the current running order is as follows: Aaron Smith leads the field right now with about 2 minutes. So he's ran about 6 laps, coming up on 7. Dustin Bolly, the chief cook and bottle washer here at Road and Plate, is currently running second. Now they will invert the field, Matt. Yeah, as we watch we're inside a minute and a half, and it's a minute and a half that is a very long time especially on a road course of this length. I don't know much about this series, but here comes Dustin Bolly around that sharp left-hander, and you almost want to take that in first gear.
That's the second fastest pace or second fastest lap we see there currently right now. And I'm going to go with the way the 24 is getting around here as far as the gear selection goes.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely not wrong there, Matt. As we're approaching the 30-second mark, and like I said, the super speedways are counted laps. And this is a timed race, so you would associate the timed races with the IMSA series, and which is kind of cool. It's different.
Nothing wrong with mixing it up, changing it up, and coming across the line right now. There is Dustin Bally. How about Samuel Stoner there in the 65 ride? And that EcoBoost F-150, biggest mover of the race, up 5 positions, currently holding down that 3rd place position. What a drive here early from Samuel Stoner.
Yeah, definitely a drive, and I got Sam Stoner, finishes in that 3rd position, and Matt, we're gonna have a chance to talk to the winner of heat number 1 here as soon as they go checkered and whatnot. So we're gonna definitely have a chance to talk to Aaron Smith will be the one we talk to.
Yeah, and he's certainly been the man with the plan in that Chevrolet here. It looks like he's got another couple hundred horsepower and all-wheel drive out there at times, as no one's been able to touch it.
Well, give heat 1 to Aaron Smith, as time has expired, and these guys are finishing their cool-down lap. With that being said, let's talk to the driver of that number 70 truck, Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith. Well, he's going to come around and get the official checkered flag.
Yes, he completes his lap here, comes around, as Alan said, gets the official checkered flag. We can write this one in the history books. It's going to be Aaron Smith, Dustin Bally, Brian Moulter, Samuel Stoner, and Evan Hoopja rounding out the top 5. You see the little dance out of the 65 as he goes across the start-finish line. And why not? He had a great run there, as he was the biggest mover of that race, up 4 positions, celebrating a little bit.
Yeah, Aaron Smith, this is Alan and Matt up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Hey, look, sorry we got you in the booth a little too early as I pulled the Steve Harvey, but nonetheless, what a great run you had. Take us through that heat race, and how difficult is it to get around this racetrack?
Yeah, Brian was on my back bumper there for the first few laps until he had his issue. But yeah, I was short shifting around the whole place because if you light the tires up even once, it completely butchers your whole run. So I was trying to be calm, trying to be smooth on the throttle, and I ended up forcing another lap. I guess I went so fast that I ended up making the race 1 lap longer. So I don't know if that'll be a factor in the main event, but if it does, we will have to pit for fuel. I would be 1 lap short, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, hey, no one ever got in trouble for taking maybe another practice lap, right?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, hey, so you're going to be starting in the back of the field come the main event. What's going to be your strategy to work through the field? Is it going to be well-timed passes and knowing where you can make those passes?
Yeah, probably. I don't want to light the tires up, so I'll probably just wait and see where I can make the passes. There are a lot of passing zones here, so maybe I can get them all done in the first 2 laps, but we'll have to see.
All right. Well, with that being said, we will go ahead and get you back down to your team, and so that way you can practice and get ready for this main event.
All right, thank you.
And that was your Heat 1 winner there, as we're going to get him in the race channel number 1. That's where he was at when I found him. But we are going to go ahead and go over our Heat 1 results here, as these guys are getting in their trucks for their warm-up session. Heat number 1, Aaron Smith II will take the win. Dustin Bally will finish 2nd. Brian Molitor will finish 3rd. Samuel Stoner will round out your top 4. Evan Hoopchak, Jay Bast, Johnny Rapp will round out your 6th, 7th, and 8th. 9th will go to Tom Wint. Nick Seraf will go 10th. Devin Jack will finish 11th. And rounding out your field will be Tyler Newman. As these guys have a quick warm-up session, we want to thank everybody here in the YouTube.com live chat for joining us here tonight. once again, we do apologize for the tardiness, as well, we have we were pretty busy on a Thursday night, so.
Well, it's Super Tuesday. You know, this is obviously the busiest night here on SRM, and we cannot thank, you know, all the league partners, the sponsors, you know, obviously everyone at SRM, and also all the fans in YouTube that always show up each and every time we're live and in prime time. Without all them, the help, support, this would certainly not be possible. So you're right, Alan. Certainly a lot of great things going on. And hey, the nighttime is the right time for Road and Plate in prime time. And I cannot wait to watch these drivers get rack stacked, ready to rock and roll, and go out there for their main event, as they have 3 minutes in this warm-up session to dust any rust off they may have before it is showtime.
Yeah, and right you are. And, you know, Matt, you've been with this league here from day one, as we got about 22 seconds. And, well, we're going to get ready to rock and roll here from Portimao. I have zero clue where this is even at. It's all foreign to me.
Oh, hey, this is Autodromo. They also have a really cool oval configuration of this facility. It is wild. And a couple leagues under the SRM umbrella run this configuration every now and then. If you've never tried it, I highly encourage you go out there and run the oval. It's like Talladega on steroids. You even have a couple jumps when you drop into the corners. It's wild and it's crazy, but ultimately a good time.
Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we are getting ready to go ahead and get ready to go here with Nick Seraph. Will be on the pole, along with Tom Went to his inside. On road number 2 will be Kenneth Stepp, and he will have Johnny Rapp to his outside. Jay Bass will start 5th. Starting 6th will be Evan Hubchek. Samuel Stoner will start 7th. Brian Molitar will start 8th. And now you get into the inverts when you get to Molitar. Dustin Bali will start 9th. Aaron Smith will start 10th. Devin Jack will start 11th. And rounding out your field tonight for this main event will be Tyler Newman.
Yeah,
Hello.
Tyler Newman there. Yeah, Tyler Newman there in the 79 ride. I'm not actually seeing him out on the racetrack. Perhaps that is race control. But nonetheless, 11 drivers strapped in to these high-speed, high-octane race trucks out here, going right and left tonight. And, you know, Alan, you mentioned those invert drivers, such as Brian Molitor, Dustin Bali. Going to start towards the back in this, you know, of this piece. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them climb up the pylon. Do they have any trouble? Do they have, you know, what obstacles do they face? We heard about the tires and how easy it is to smoke them. Make those Dr. Feelgoods become Feel Bads. All these different variables. Strap grandma in. Hopefully she's got plenty of kernel-free popcorn, because it's about to go down here in prime time.
Oh boy, we have a lot of fun when we get to come together and watch these races and stuff. I have never even, like I said, I've never even heard of this race course until tonight. But as iRacing.com pace car is going to bring these guys around, these laps are pretty long here, Matt, as we get ready to come down the green.
Yeah, I believe it's 2.89 miles around this facility. So you're right. It's long and it's treacherous and it's easy to make a mistake. And should you do that, this racetrack will make you pay.
Don't want to be like Steve Harvey and bring these guys down early, but nonetheless, no caution flags in the heat in the A mains or in on the road courses. I don't believe. I'm still new to this. My first race was Talladega. as the iRacing.com pace car makes a hard right-hand turn. And here comes the field. Nick Seraph, Tom Wendt, and, well, the green flag is almost fallen, but we are going road racing from Portimao. We are green flag with the Road and Plate Series.
Green flag in the air, and these glorious V8s come roaring to life. Oh, already is that 4-5 wide? We got trucks going. Oh, holy Toledo. I don't know how everyone got through there.
Holy truck series, Batman.
I don't think I've ever seen that kind of an aggressive restart. I think they were 5 or 6 wide there. And that Bass Tracker Chevrolet being piloted by Nick Seraph probably got the worst end of the deal. He got kind of shoved off into the grass on the abort mode.
Whoa, we got another incident. And that would be Dustin Bali along with Ken Estep. There we go. And the lifetime he finally decided they wanted to cooperate tonight. It needed a day off. And the 7 truck got a little too hot in there, and the rest is history. Calamity corner here as this sharp left-hander. Yikes. As we bring you out.
Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry, bud.
As we bring everybody out to the live picture here, there is Tom Wendt in that number 28 truck, and look, I'm gonna want some Marty's now.
Hey, it's beef. It's what's for dinner. I like some Arby's too. In fact, now I'm hungry.
I like Arby's,
about
but up here in St. Louis, we have Lion's Choice.
You do, and it's on another planet. It's so much better. And you're right, but I don't have that here in South Central Florida. But we got a battle up here at the front of this piece, Alan. Bast is trying to best Rap, and he has got a hot paint scheme on that 52. In fact, he's going for the kill shot. He tried to peek inside, but Bast found the nitrous button and somehow was able to stay in front of the 52. I thought Rap had his number circled, and now Rap is suddenly under siege from Molitor. Here he is, up 6 positions already. He's got a Nissan GTR disguised as a Toyota in competition.
Wow, here's the onboard from Johnny Rap. You can see right now this is probably the higher speeds, and there's that sharp left-handed corner. This is going to be Calamity corner all night long, Matt, as they start off that corner and they go through a short little S corner section. We got 32 minutes left, so right now they're going to probably run about 20 to 25 laps, is my guess.
Well, yeah, 20 to 25 laps. That's what I'm banking on too as well. But you heard, before we went green, if one of these leaders or the leader is able to really put up a flyer here and force another lap, that could spell disaster, because that means not enough juice in the box to make it around again. So we're going to have to really keep an eye on that. We're going to have to see if some of these other drivers already have a strategy as this race continues to roll on. But right now, I mean, it is a full-fledged, all-out World War II style trench warfare around this race facility as everyone is going at it right now.
Yeah, these guys are on attack mode with this racetrack. And, there's a lot of technical sections in here that you got to be conscious of, as we're just inside of 31 minutes. Almost getting to that 30-minute mark, so a half hour left in the race here. And, I like the time style races. I like the engine. I call it an IMSA style race because a lot of your IMSA races are Dustin Bali makes a move on the inside of Stoner there for the 6th position. And Dustin Bali is one of those drivers that started deep in the field due to the invert.
Yeah, started deep in the field due to the invert, but you would never notice he's already up 3 spots. In fact, the start of this race probably didn't go according to plan. A little bit of adversity. Just when you think you got it all figured out, Alan.
I mean, there's gonna be a pit stop, but these laps are so long that you gotta be careful, and you know, you gotta wonder what the pit strategy is gonna be. As you know, look, our cameraman only works so fast, so that's why you're seeing the track back up there, so you can see where your favorite driver is on the racetrack. So it's a pretty good indication, and it gives you. You can also put a eyeballs on the section that they're in too.
Well, speaking of eyeballs on specific sections, Devin Jack just yacked out the fastest lap time at a 1:51.74, as he's currently also the biggest mover of the race in that 4th place position. Truck to keep an eye on right now is that 52, as he is the man on the move.
The 52 truck of Johnny Rapp there. And right now, your weather, right now, they are 65 degree ambient temperature, of 45% relative humidity, and a 67 degree track temp under a partly cloudy sky. And Matt, this is what I like to call a chamber commerce type of day, or resort weather.
I'm going to go with the resort style weather. And, you know, as cool as this track temp is, you're probably going to have to wait a couple laps for these tires fully to come up to temperature, you know, or, you know, which is probably the lesser evil of the two, right? When the racetrack out there is like a frying pan, you know, it's up there 130, 140 degrees at times, you know, it's a slip and slide. You know, you can't make any grip, you can't put the power down, but when the track temp's on the cooler side of the spectrum, you know, when you're under 85 degrees, it takes a little bit of time to get some heat built in those good years. But these drivers seem to have already had a solid plan in place for that, as we really haven't seen any type of miscue. Is just as I say that, the 53 of Bast goes beast mode and really kicks the back end of that race truck out. That was a heck of a stave by the driver of that Toyota.
Oh boy, Johnny Rapp there in that number 57 truck. Jay Bass in the number 53 truck. Iracing has deemed this is the best view.
I'm also getting a report, unconfirmed, that Samuel Stoner may have had an incident off course out there on the racetrack. Oh, and there goes the 52. Just as I say that, the broadcaster's curse strikes again.
You didn't.
I did. I'm sorry, Johnny Rapp. Sometimes the force is strong, and I'm just going to apologize to the...
You're going to blame the force?
I'm going to blame the force.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm not really blaming the force. It was just, you know, a figure of speech. The first thing that came to mind. But anyways, just as I called that out with that potential issue with Samuel Stoner, Johnny Rapp took it to the beach. You know, speaking of taking it to the beach, Alan, I'm lucky I'm not out here in competition, because I'd be in the sand more than Hasselhoff. I'm not kidding.
I would hate to see your golf game then, because this is look, this is appropriately sponsored by the Palmrat Golf Truck Series.
Yeah, you know what? You cannot thank Palmrat Golf enough for their contribution and everything that they do for the series. All the men and women behind the scenes, we thank you for their support, as they're out here right now putting on a great show here live on SRM. You know, and back to my Hasselhoff comment, if I needed a sponsor, it'd probably be Pail and Shovel.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Maybe some sunscreen to go along with it.
Alan Bergen and Matt, the Texas Ranger Mettler, joining us in the booth tonight. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. And yes, Matt, I did put Texas Ranger in there.
Hey, that's cool. I'm good with Texas Ranger. And I'm going to call you the Icebergen. Instead of the iceberg, Icebergen. See?
Oh, goodness gracious. What a day.
I'll tell you what, Aaron Smith didn't like not having the fastest lap because he just blistered the previous one. He just cooked out, you ready for this, Alan? A 1:51.66. Aaron Smith suddenly up 9 positions. Mr. Where did he come from? Pulls a Houdini. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have his hands full. You know, you even alluded to it. And yet, here we are. It's like if he went and got a drink at the concession stands, came back and sat down or resumed coverage of this race. Aaron Smith is basically picking right up where he left off.
Absolutely, as we were riding on board with Aaron Smith. And you can see the elevation change. Look, that's a blind corner right there that he's coming around. And there you see he's there on the track map, a hard right-hander. There's a lot of elevation change. And when you're inside these race trucks, it is hard to see to the next corner. It's not like in your passenger car where you got, you know, some clearance and the ride feels all nice and comfy. Just inside of 23 minutes left here. Oh my. Oh my. And you know, I gotta wonder, Matt, if he's gonna back that lap up, maybe. As Jay Bass and Samuel Stoner have shown crash. Let's see what happened to Jay Bass first. And
Jay Bass going to be that 53 machine.
looks like he's gonna go take the slide for life. Well, there's one way to get around the track, and it's Tokyo Drift style.
Hey, you know what? And if you're as good as Bass, you could probably get away with that. The one thing that's probably not going to take that abuse, those Dr. Feelgoods will become Feel Bads. And in fact, you can see that truck kind of struggling now, putting the power down after that slide for life.
So here is what happened to Samuel Stoner. As we're going to break the fourth wall just for a minute. Okay, here he comes. This is that calamity corner I've been alluding to. First gear blues, and then he's going to gas it. And there's the right-hander. And, oh, if he would have just clutched it, he probably would have been able to slide it on around there.
Yeah, you know, that's, you know, as a driver, I bet you he's been able to come out of that position, you know, many times before, but it just takes that one time where it just, you know, it just gets away from you right there. Coming out of that into that heavy braking zone, you know, as you mentioned, calamity corner, and it certainly struck right there. But we stay green. No caution flags in the air on the road course here tonight. These drivers doing a great job of keeping their equipment in tip-top shape. You know, Alan, I still can't get over that initial start. That was just wild. I can't believe everyone came out of the other side of that okay. That was, I didn't think it was going to end well.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Right now, as it stands, we have run 7 laps. We're just inside that 20-minute mark here, Matt, and we want to welcome, thank you for choosing SRM and the Palmeret Golf Truck Series as your entertainment destination tonight here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Alan Bergen, live in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio just south of wonderful St. Louis, Missouri. And he is Matt Metler, Matt Walker, Texas Ranger, and the retirement home of the U.S. in South Florida.
Hey, just because it's called God's waiting room doesn't mean you got to sit around and wait for it. At least that's how I like to look at it. But how about these two guys out in front? You know, Aaron Smith, Molitor going back at it. Shades of, you know, the heat race here. And these two guys are just pulling away from the competition. I mean, literally. You know, once you get outside of the top two, you go back to that third place position, who's also up 6 spot positions on the racetrack. The head cook, chief, and bottle washer, as you mentioned, Dustin Bally. And it almost looks like he's out there doing time trials right now. He's got, other competition, so far out in front of him that it's really not affecting, any of the air getting to that truck or his line or how he wants to attack this racetrack. And he also has that safety cushion before he has to deal with Devin Jack in the 49.
Well, he's going to throw caution to the wind, and he's still out there trying to qualify. Did anybody tell him that he's got like 19 laps to go? As we got live timing showing us that Ken Step has crashed. So let's go see what the heck happened.
Yeah, Ken Estep.
We go.
And that's 60.
Too much spice and not enough girls.
Did you just make a Spice Girls reference?
I did.
Well, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Well, Kenneth Steph really, really wanted to get around the corner.
Oh.
I've been working on, look, you can tell when you start making references, you've been hanging out with our friend Dave Regal way too long.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Please send all your hate mail to jleach@srm.com.
I'm telling you right now, Matt, if me, you, and Dave grew up together, you guys would be talking to me, and I would be the one being talked into doing all the dumb stuff.
No, I'm telling you right now, that would be me. I'd be the one walking around with the black eye and looking like I got clobbered in the head with a 2x4. Is Dave sitting back in his beach chair, sipping on a Long Island iced tea, laughing at me behind my back.
Oh boy!
But hey, that's life sometimes,
at the end of October, the SRM team will be making its way to South Florida for the Miami race. I will be stopping 2 states earlier on the ride, and well, I'm gonna recreate my wedding anniversary as Dustin Bally comes down pit road, and I'm gonna be doing that in East Tennessee. So we're gonna have to put off one more year to hang out with old Al up here in the booth.
Ooh, Aaron Smith just locked up the front tires, getting into the corner. And don't look now, but the last time by, Molitor and Smith ran identical lap times. So that 4 starting to reel in that Chevrolet who's been carrying the torch now. In fact, Alan, he is there working inches off the tailgate.
Inch by inch, step by step. And, I gotta wonder too. You see these guys float all the way out to the green. I wonder if that's out of bounds.
You're definitely gonna get an off track, I believe,
Whoa.
if you do wander.
And
Yeah, I
these
didn't
guys,
want to cut you there, Alan.
No, you're good.
But as I was saying, yeah, I think if you adventure off out there, yeah, it's definitely going to be an off-track situation. Certainly if you go into the grass, for certain.
11 drivers signed in here tonight, and 12. Tyler Nimmin, I would suspect, is race control, but look, he could almost not even earn his paycheck tonight, and still, be all right. But 12 drivers signed in tonight. 11 took the green flag in the heat. 11 took the green flag in the main. And right now, Aaron Smith is out front doing Aaron Smith things. As we got our second driver coming down pit road of the night, and that is the 7 truck of Evan Hubchak.
Yeah, Hubchak on pit road. He's at that snail's pace. It must feel like it's taking an eternity to finally come into his pit stall here in that EcoBoost F-150.
Maybe he needs to... I'm sorry. Maybe he needs to crank that one up to crazy and get down pit road a little faster.
Well, I suppose you could do that, but then you'd have to pay the piper in the form of a time penalty, and you definitely don't want to do that. But just like that, he is down and away. And he'll be back up to speed here momentarily as he now comes back up to speed and climbs back up the H pattern right into that heavy braking zone. So pit stop's well underway now. The question is, when does Smith and Molitor come down pit road? They're still the two fastest trucks out there on the racetrack. By almost a second or more at times. They're still in they're in the low 153-second bracket, where everyone else is in the high 154s or mid 155s.
Yeah, so the other thing I want to point out too is these guys are about 21 seconds ahead of Devin Jack. But meanwhile, let's see what the heck happened to Devin here. As here he goes, Tokyo Drift style. They can do it in the movies. I can do it on Iracing. Not. And he look, it's spinning with style.
Yeah, that's. I feel like you're almost quoting Toy Story there instead of saying falling with style and spinning with style. But yeah, I'll definitely give him some style points on that.
I give him a solid 6.
Yeah, that solid 6 now comes into that heavy braking zone as Devin Jack, second biggest mover of the race, takes over that third and final podium place position. And Devin Jack right now is pretty much in a world of his own. 22 seconds up the road till you get to the leaders, and then Bast is almost 6 seconds behind him.
Yeah, here we go. And I think Molitor is just buying his time, waiting like a lion in the rough, just waiting for Aaron Smith to make a mistake. Or you might try to force one, or, you just might give him the chrome horn.
Well, once you deploy the chrome horn, then all is fair, right? So if he deploys it too soon, he can absolutely have that returned to him. So you got to be careful here. You don't want karma to come a knocking before that checkered flag flies. Or on the other side of the coin, is Aaron Smith running just hard enough to keep that Ford TRD powered machine at bay?
Well, as you say that, let's do this. So here he is, fourth gear. Aaron Smith, driver out of Hollywood, South Carolina. South Hollywood, come on. I'm tripping.
Oh, he's out there driving like he's in a movie.
I mean, if he would be Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow!
Oh, I thought you were going to go there. I didn't want to steal your thunder.
Look, we've been hanging out with Dave Regal too long.
Yep, old Father Dave. What? How many times has he made preacher references? Come on, you know he's implying he wants to really be a minister at the end of the day.
I mean, I've made a lot of preacher references today.
Well, see, so you've been thinking about Dave a lot then.
Look,
and I mean, since technically Father Frank is away right now doing his baseball thing, someone has to fill that role. So why not Dave?
Dave, I was over at Racers Elite, great series with Dave Regal before I came over here. And I asked Dave, because, the faster passer Stony Benfield's in the field tonight over there. I asked him, I said, do you think that Stony Benfield times his sermons around or his church services around the NASCAR schedule?
There's probably a good chance he does. He could. I mean, they don't call him the faster pastor for nothing.
You're not wrong.
Or if you're talking about Talladega, the faster disaster. But that really wasn't his fault.
As you know, here on Thursday night, myself and Matt Metler are colleagues in the booth, but come Sunday with the Racers Elite live here on SRM, we become immortal enemies.
Well, I
As we
would
take
say
on
enemies, but
frenemies. As we take
frenemies.
on, as we take on the Brickyard 400 Sunday morning. Tune in to SRM and Racers Elite as Jordan Brokel and Shane Lake will be on the call for that one. We got a little over 9.5 minutes left in the race in the same rain here. Alan Bergen and Matt Walker, Texas Ranger Metler, with you in the broadcast booth here tonight.
The booth has been a hot one, as these guys have put on a clinic here once again, and particularly these two drivers at the front. You know, they dominated, virtually the heat race. I thought the invert was going to make it a little more challenging for them. But these two, talking about Smith and Mullen, are just so good. They were virtually able to, part the Red Seas and navigate through the inferno and put these two trucks right at the front of this piece, P1 and P2, once again. And Molitor is keeping Smith honest. I mean, he has been within an arm's reach virtually all race long, forcing Smith to be perfect, and that's exactly what he's been, like the Iceman. Has not missed a mark, neither of these drivers have, and watching them just do battle around this place is pretty remarkable because, Alan, there's not a single point in time you can really rest getting around this racetrack. You have to be up on the wheel, gritting your teeth. And if you blink, you miss. And these drivers have executed perfectly thus far.
You blink and you miss sounds like a lot of the small towns up here in Missouri.
Sounds like Belleville, Illinois.
Yeah.
Back where the old Juggle.com office used to be. And just a short drive from the Loop, downtown St. Louis. I haven't been there in a while, but I went there a lot, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And always had a good time down there. Alan, if I ever get the opportunity to go to the Arch again, I will certainly hook you up. Or, in fact, maybe you could just take the train and meet me at the airport.
Or I could just drive and meet you at the airport.
Or that too.
Unless you're gonna fly Spirit and fly into Cahokia.
I've never flown into Cahokia.
I mean,
it sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah, so I mean, just plop a landing strip in the middle of Illinois, and you got Mid-America Airfield or Mid-America Airport. Nonetheless, so Jay Bass is running in that fourth position. We're a little over 6.5 minutes left here in the race, and right now we're going to go ahead and step aside and pay the bills here on Sim Racing Media. We're going to go side by side, and you will not miss a thing. Welcome back, as we were just inside of 3 minutes left here in this race here. It's the Pomerette Road and Plate Series. I'm Alan Bergen, and joining me in the booth tonight is Matt Metler.
I catch a mater in there.
You did.
Well, hey there.
We're keeping Matt on his toes tonight.
Well, hey, call me what you want, what you will. It's not going to offend me any, as my son is over here trying to sneak my cell phone away from me when he thinks I'm not paying attention to him. Haha, I got you. Is Brian Molitor able to get around Aaron Smith? As time's getting ready to expire, we have a brand new leader, Alan.
Yep, and we're going to go ahead and take a look and see the pass here. Here it comes, right in that fast left. Ooh. And Sam Stoner was right there. Almost used Sam Stoner as a pick. Brian Molitor did. And there we go. There's the pass. Nice try for the crossover, but can't make it work. So we come back out to the live picture. And that was the move that was the mistake that Molitor was hoping that Smith would make, as we were at about 2.5 minutes left here in the race here. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here live on Sim Racing Media. Thank you for making the Pomerette Golf Road and Plate Truck Series and Sim Racing Media your entertainment destination. Ugh, if I could talk. Lots of great programming. Don't forget, tomorrow night you can join Mike Damani and Mr. Shane Lake from the Racers Elite Stafford Series. That will go live around, I believe, 9 Eastern, so 8 Central. And then Saturday night, you can catch myself and Emily Urias on Elite Cup Racing. That will kick off at 8:15, and Shane Lake and Jordan Brookell for the Brickyard 200 with the Racers Elite at 9 Eastern. And then Sunday morning, while you're sipping coffee, Matt, you can join. Well, you'll be in the race car. You can join Jordan Brookell and Shane Lake again for the full-length Brickyard 400 as we go 160 laps around the Brickyard. And if that isn't enough for you, Sunday night NASCAR, the Stacey Strong Cup Series, the SNN Series, if you will, you'll hear Matt Metler and Dave Regal will, he will drink a ice cold frosty AB product, more or less a Budweiser tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, but on Sunday is a part of us reaching 4,000 subscribers. One final time around here, 39 seconds left. Brian Molitor is in command of this race. Aaron Smith, the sands of the hourglass are rapidly running out as we still got about 3 miles left to go.
Yeah, Molitor has it basically on autopilot in the TRD powered machine. And like the advertising says, let's go places. It is going to take it to the house. I am going to call it right now. That guy is on cruise control. I don't foresee him having any issues once he comes across that start finish line. From now until then, the 70 Aaron Smith I thought was going to be the man to beat, but clearly Brian Molitor knew what he was doing and sat, waited, bought his time. And when that light came on to go up there and take the torch from Aaron Smith, he did just that, and now extends that lead over 1 second over Aaron Smith. Go ahead, Alan.
Brian Molitor gets around these corners Tokyo Drift style, and that number 4 Toyota Tundra. He's working on the last few corners right now. The last left-hander, or that's a right-hander. Excuse me. I'm tripping. Here we go. The last set of corners. Off of the final turn. The sweeping right-hander. And to the checkered flag. Give the race win to Brian Molitor. Oh my word. What a drive he had.
What a drive from Brian Molitor, as he was absolutely perfect, and my son is losing his mind and he is crying because Aaron Smith did not win this race. I am so sorry, Brian. That is racing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you come in second, sometimes you come in last, buddy. As he was over here sitting beside me, sharing my passion with racing along with me. But what a drive from that Toyota man.
Sometimes you're the
Is
bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Here's the bug.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Look at that SVG style drift action out of the 4. But tip of the hat to these two guys here at the front of this thing. I mean, a great job by everyone in competition tonight, but clearly the 70 of Aaron Smith and Brian Molitor, I mean, these two guys know how to get down to business on the road course side of things. In fact, they're good on the plate stuff as well. You got to check out some of their competition on the oval side of things, Alan. They put on a heck of a show there as well. But we're going to hear from Brian Molitor, Aaron Smith, and the HMFIC of the league, Dustin Bally. Is there your top 3? And another one here in the history books for these guys, as this series does nothing but continue to impress each and every time they're live here on SRM, Alan.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get these guys up here and have a quick chat with our top 3. As it looks like we got some guys making their way here, and we will put them down there. We'll put them there. And we will go ahead and get the owner. And here's what we're going to do. Matt, I will let you lead off here tonight.
Well, I appreciate that, Alan. Matt, up in the booth, you got a copy there, bud.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, I got you now, man. Well, hey, first and foremost, congratulations. Talk to me about that hard-fought battle out there on the racetrack tonight. How are you guys able to put up such a good fight and keep it clean at the same time?
I think it helped a lot that we were both saving fuel. Neither of us was pushing too hard. I think I saw Aaron run wide in turn 1 a few times, and that was about it as far as track limits, and there was no contact. So yeah, it was honestly pretty chill.
To me, it doesn't seem chill. It seems like it's nail biting. I mean, just on the seat of your pants, mayhem could break loose at any moment. Probably because I don't have the same set of skills that you do on the road course side of things, Brian. But talk to me about this invert. I mean, obviously, you guys were pretty much the class in the heat race. Then you guys invert the field. You go way back in traffic, and then you were just able. It seemed like the parting of the Red Seas. It was almost biblical how yourself and Aaron were able just to come right through the field again. Talk to me about making those decisions out there on this racetrack, because if you miss, it's not very forgiving, and you two were able to make it look really easy.
Yeah, I think the luck played a big part today for sure. Having a little extra pace in hand going into the break zones, and then everyone just being respectful goes a long way as well. I think first lap through the maybe first 4 corners almost we were 2-3 wide, and you can't do that without a lot of mutual respect.
Clearly, the respect that you guys have for each other and the level of competition really shines through, especially at a place like this. Talk to me about those Goodyear tires. How did they react out there? The track tips on the lower side of things, but it seemed like if you overheated those tires just a little bit, it got really challenging to be able to put the power down at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. In the heat race, I had a little spin, and it took me probably 2.5 laps to get the car back underneath me. So by virtue of the fuel saving once again in the feature race, was able to treat the tires really well. And I just was in the dark there on the last lap when I started pushing again once I realized I had the fuel to go, and they were still pretty good, honestly, surprisingly good. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just-
seemed like your truck was really well planted into the racetrack, even after that hard racing, between yourself and Smith. You certainly seem to have, a throttle control down, at a master's level, if you will, out there. But congratulations once again. Before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on the 4?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks to you and Matt, or Alan, sorry, up in the booth, and thanks to Dustin for putting this together every week. Yeah, just appreciate it. Good fun.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Like the marketing slogan says, TRD, let's go places. And that's exactly what Brian Molitor did. He went to the point. He carried the torch home for Toyota, put on an epic battle in prime time, going up against one of the series' best, Aaron Smith, but he comes out on top. He is your winner. Alan Bergen, back to you.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and get him back there, and we're going to bring in our second place driver, Aaron Smith. What a run you had on the road course here tonight. Just couldn't quite get it done once Molitor got by you. Take us through that pass, and did you burn up yourself there trying to catch you?
No, I was just saving my fuel the whole race. Like, I had him kept pretty well behind me there, but I guess he saved fuel a lot better than I did there. And we caught up to some lap traffic. Kind of took me off my game for a split second, and that was all that it took. But made one more shot at him there at the end, and I just didn't have enough tire left on me. So it's unfortunate, but it was a great race all around.
Look, you dominated the Heat 1, race, and then you come out here, good showing here in the A main. But as we move on in the season, what's your I believe we got a couple more. We got one more road course to hit up before we go back on the oval. What's your mindset as we hit these this next road course, and how much practice do you think it's going to take to make you look like you make it look so easy? How much practice do you normally spend on the service when preparing for these races?
Yeah, if it's a new track, I'll usually do a couple laps just to make sure I get the corners right. But at a track like Interlagos, where we'll be at next week, I've done a few truck races there already, actually. So it should be a pretty fun race. I think I'll have the upper hand there, but we'll have to see.
All right. Well, is there anybody, before we cut Julius, is there anybody that you would like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at Pomerat Golf for supporting the league, as well as the folks at Road and Plate for having me this season. All the folks in the race tonight for putting on a good show, and you for broadcasting. All the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it next week and hopefully coming out with that sweep.
All right, Aaron. That was Aaron Smith II, your second place runner up, and last but certainly not least, to round out the podium, we will bring in the booth the chief cook and bottle washer here at Road and Plate, Dustin Bali.
Hey guys.
Dustin is
Dustin.
out. Go ahead.
I'll let you take it, Alan. Go ahead. You know me. I'm just motivated to talk to this man. All right, you got it. I'll take it. Dustin, Matt, and Alan up in the Tony Trempasso Memorial booth. How are you doing, sir?
I'm a little sweaty, a little tired. Kind of kicking myself for my strategy, but I don't know if I had the skill to save fuel like those guys did,
Well, I'll tell you what, regardless of the skill, I think it was on display throughout the course of this race. You guys put on a great show, number one, too. The level of professionalism and the amount of respect that you guys show each and every time you guys are live here on SRM. It speaks for itself. So I think that's key point number one. But, speaking, about your run here tonight, I mean, you're the third biggest mover of the race, up 6 positions from where you started. Only the other 2 bigger movers, were P1 and P2. So clearly you guys all had some great pace out there tonight. What do you think the difference was, between yourself and Smith or Molitor? You guys seem to be very close there in lap time. Was it just the strategy, as you alluded to? Was that the main difference?
Yeah, I think, I was able to look at kind of our pace during the sprint and the feature before I pitted, and there wasn't much. I mean, I think it was maybe a half a second, which on a 2-minute track is kind of nothing. Obviously, Brian made his mistake in the in the sprint and spun a little bit, and so that was able to put us into a better position for the sprint finish. But yeah, just I mean they're 4,000 and 6,000 iRating drivers, right? They have a little something extra, and right towards the end there, I think me and Evan Hubchak finished pretty close together, so there was hardly anything between us. I know I could have had another half spin, and that would have put me even further back. But yeah, I think that the talent level amongst the three of us, and then obviously add in Michael McCoy, who wasn't here tonight, and Phil Keck's really fast, and there's some guys that just they just have raw pace, and so they're always going to be contenders. So yeah, but it was good. I'll have to work on my fuel saving because I want to have that tool in my toolbox right the next time one of these comes around, so that I can maybe give them a little more of a challenge.
I was telling Alan on the broadcast, you guys are lucky I wasn't out there in competition because I would have been in the sand more than Hasselhoff. That's how bad I am on these road course tracks. My road game is not good. So I envy you guys out there watching how you get around the racetrack. You mentioned the pace. Let's talk about this racetrack. It is very unforgiving. There's a lot of hard braking zones. And if you miss a little bit, it's going to make you pay. How were you able just to be so consistent out there tonight and hit your marks and come home with that podium finish?
I think it just comes down to practice. I think, as you alluded to, the long braking zones. That's what Aaron and Brian were talking to me in the waiting room about. That's how they fuel save, right? So if you have these long braking zones, you can extend those and really use that to save fuel. So that's something I'm gonna have to look at. But yeah, I mean, I did a bunch of practice laps. I mean, we were off for July 4th, so we had the 2 weeks to practice, and then we were supposed to be on last week, and Iracing had the big outage, so that was another week. So that was, I probably did 50 to 100 laps at this race or at this track over the last couple of weeks. So once the race came, I kind of knew what I was doing. Obviously, it's different, when you get into a race situation, there's pressure, from guys behind, and there's pressure you're trying to catch the guys in front, and so that's going to force you into a few mistakes that you wouldn't normally have in a lone practice session. But yeah, it was a decent race, and we'll see how things pan out the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was a great race, and I got one more question, and then I'll turn it over to you, let you thank your sponsors and who helps you get it done. Obviously, you guys inverted the field there, so you started a little deeper back, on the starting grid. Did you see how wide you guys were, how many trucks across going into one? And if so, did you think you were going to make it out the other side?
No doubt. There was only 10 of us there, so I think that kind of gave everyone a little extra confidence to be wacky. I think if there was 20 trucks out there tonight, you wouldn't have seen that. So, everyone who raced tonight knows each other really well, and they know that they're really clean, really respectful racers, and we can make stuff like that happen pretty easily.
It looked like something out of the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels you would see at an air show. When you guys were just full send going into turn one, I was standing up. I did not think everyone was going to make it out the other side. That was truly an awesome display of great driving. And I just wanted to add that piece in there. It was wild. I'm sure when you watch it back, you'll see what I'm talking about. But before we cut you loose, Dustin, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 24?
Thank you. I want to thank, first of all, my wife, Rebecca, parents, Tom and Deb, mother-in-law, Karen, everyone else out there who's supporting me and watching. I want to thank the league sponsor, Evan Hubchak and Palmrat Golf. We appreciate everything they do for the league. And then, of course, you guys for being in the booth. We love having you, and it's always a pleasure to watch your broadcasts back. So everyone watching, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll get some more trucks out in these next couple of races. I need to do some work as a league admin, do some recruiting, try and get some more trucks out there to increase the viewers, viewership and action. So have a little bit of work to do, but we're heading in the right direction.
Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you think you got what it takes to race with these guys on the road and plate side of things? Reach out to Dustin Bally. He can get you pointed in the right direction. And who knows, maybe the next time we're here live on SRM, you'll be out there in competition with these boys. But Alan, before I send it back to you, Dustin Bally was balling tonight. He comes home third. I'll send it back up top. Dustin, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Matt. Thank you for the great interviews with the winner and the third place driver. But before we wrap it up here from Portimao. Wow, I can't. Lots more words there. Let's go over our feature results here. Brian Molitor picks up the win here. Aaron Smith the second, and Dustin Bally round out your podium. Finishing fourth position tonight will be Evan Huchak, the Chief Cook and Bottle Washer at Palmret Golf. Jay Bass will finish fifth. Sixth will go to Tom Wint. Johnny Rapp will finish seventh. Eighth will go to Devin Jack. Ninth will go to Samuel Stoner. Kenneth Stepp will finish in your top 10. Rounding out your field, and 11th will be Nick Seraph and Tyler Newman, who did not grid up for any of the races here. Matt, we closed the book essentially on another great race here with the Palmret Golf Road and Plate Series. I mean, you've been here for this is your fifth race with these guys. Final thoughts as we get ready to close this one out.
You know, it's everything that I come to expect from these guys. You expect to see top tier level 1 racing out there on the racetrack, and that's exactly what we've seen tonight from all these competitors. You know, they almost make it look easy, and I can promise you guys at home, this track is tough. It is treacherous. I have tried, keyword tried, to turn laps here, and I only dream of running the lap times that we've seen displayed here tonight. We've seen the give and take. We've seen the wild. It was either 5 or 6 trucks wide going into one, and everyone coming out the other side. That just speaks to the skill set and the quality and caliber of competition here in the series. And then you've seen the stars and the elites, you know, come out and shine. You've seen the Brian Mulliters, the Dustin Ballies, and the Aaron Smith, you know, just showing why they are so strong with the tires, the fuel saving, the tire strategy, and just great close quarters racing when they never even made contact once, would still put on a great show. Proof that you don't have to wad up your race truck to put on a good show. Just an all-around class act once again tonight, Alan.
Yeah, as we get ready to move on through the season, join us next Thursday night here on Sim Racing Media as we bring you round number 6 of the Road and Plate Series, sponsored by Palmret Golf. And unfortunately, Matt, I will not be in the booth tomorrow, or not tomorrow night, but next week, as I will be on assignment from the wonderful and very fun Fairbury Speedway as I take in the Prairie Dirt Classic next weekend. I am leaving on Wednesday morning rather, and I will check out the Flow Racing Night in America. But nonetheless, as the late great Tony Trapasso would always say, as you walk your life, please don't play in traffic. Good night.